Hello friends, I am putting my square spiral garden to bed for a few days because we're about to go through a polar vortex where air that's supposed to be living up at the North Pole comes to visit Tennessee. So I don't know if y'all remember from a previous video if you follow the channel, but we have a little lettuce growing in the driveway. And I'm a sucker for my plants. Even though we can't use this, I'm hoping it will survive and go to seed for me. So I even protected him, even though we can't eat him. So underneath here is rosemary pots and oregano and chives. There's rosemary. And I used a tomato cage to hold the cloth up off of the plants. Because what I found is that if the tarp is touching the plant itself, the cold will burn, cold burn. So this point right here is the edge of the tomato cage. I've got a stone down over there to hold it. Underneath here are some starts. I had planted a bunch of different things like horehound, all things that were supposed to be frost hardy, radish, so several other things, and some of them have come up, but this is also my cilantro bed, and I have a lot of cilantro starts coming up. I didn't know that cilantro was a winter herb when I first planted it, but it's been so successful here. I love it. So here's the rest of the garden. Here's the wee pond. The wee pond has been looking really good since I flushed it out with when I was emptying the water butt. So those are shells on the bottom, and this is a vase because I was hoping that frogs would come live here. And we have had a few tadpoles from time to time, but it's too small of a water base. It does attract the occasional dragonfly, but it could be that the mint growing in there might be stopping some things from coming to live. Maybe they don't like mint flavored water. And the yarrow keeps coming in too. Look at it, the yarrow just like, hello, I like the water. And the mint just grows in there. Oh my goodness. Not what I intended for the pond. Here's the black-eyed Susan seed heads, leaving those for birds. In the dead of winter, birds will come and eat those. Here's more. There's like 5 different kinds of that flower. And this is a different one. This one's sprouted in the. Here's my mullein, which is good, which is an invasive, but it's good for lung issues. Cortland apple. That guy right there is going to go to my neighbor, hopefully this winter, because he's too big for that spot. Strawberries, I'm not covering them. They will handle the cold just fine. That's the strawberry ziggurat. So it's 1 level, 2 level, 3 level. They'll weather the cold just fine, and then come summer or late spring, they'll come back. This is the purple coneflower. Some birds have already been eating it. So everything else is asleep. The grass I've been using to line my pet bird's cage. I'm still delighted that my hazelnut has catkins. And over here, I've had this old tent cover, rainfly, two different tents, 2 different rainflies. I've got underneath here arugula that did survive from last year or last spring. and it barely made it through summer because it's so hot. But it managed to come back, and I just want to protect it from the severe cold snap because it's been in the 50s. So it's terrible. When it gets warm like this in winter, well, it's actually still autumn. No, wait. Yesterday was the first day of winter because today is the 22nd. So when it gets warm like this, when it should be cold, this is what happens. These plants think it's spring, and then it's going to be very harsh. Their buds are going to freeze, but buds are usually cold hardy. And those are blueberries. They love the cold. There's another blueberry. So I also had covered the garlic, and I tore up some mullein flowers from another plant to put around to help protect them. So that's my garlic. I don't actually dig up these garlic bulbs. What I do is I eat the greens, so you can see where they've been cut. So I'm going to pull that back over, and I'm going to put this rock right there and help protect them. Now we're on the other side of the tarp. So wish all these plants luck. It's going to be harsh when the cold arrives. It's supposed to come in tonight. All right, I'm going to try to step through here without killing myself. You know, I walk this way all the time, and once I cover it up, I have no idea where the stepping stones are. I wanted to also show you what I'm doing for our Gaia. She is an outdoor kitty cat, and this is her old chaise lounge. What a good kitty. This is a feather pillow, and she always sleeps in that same spot, so I got a box to put over her spot, and the blanket's over. And this is a protected area, as you can see. She's underneath the breezeway, and on the other side of the breezeway that's the western face, so that's where the cold wind will come from. So this is mostly protected. She'll be all right. But she's a good kitty. Who's a good kitty? So precious. So precious. Who's a good baby? Who's a good baby? She loves the ear rubs. She loves ear and neck and shoulder rubs. If you rub further down her back, she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, it's your face. Who's got a kitty face? Who's got a kitty face? Get your baby. All right. So that's our garden video. Thanks for joining. And I hope that y'all survive this vortex like we will. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the grapevine. This is wild grapevine going over the trellis. I don't know how much of it will survive. Probably most of it. This stuff is really tough, and I eat the leaves. It does not really grow fruit, but the leaves are edible. So I eat them when they're really young. And we'll see if it survives, how much of it survives the winter. I'm guessing after next year, I will need to cut it back to the ground and start over again. But anyway, that's another video. All right, we're gonna do a pan, and we're gonna say, be well.